From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, February the 7th, 2019. A rocket was fired last night at southern Israel from Gaza. It landed in an open field in the Sha'ar HaNegev Regional Council. No damage or injury was reported. In response, the IDF struck a Hamas military post in Gaza. A yeshiva in upstate New York was defaced with hateful graffiti and structures on its property set on fire. The incident at Yeshiva De'ah Yoreh in White Sulphur Springs took place on January the 28th, but was first reported by the Rockland Westchester Journal News only yesterday afternoon. 2 barns on the property of the yeshiva were damaged by fire, and a number of swastikas were found painted on the walls. Local police are investigating the incident as a hate crime. And the Atlanta Jewish News reported hateful vandalism discovered at Centennial Public High School in Roswell, Georgia. Swastikas were found there, painted on a number of locations inside and outside the school. Centennial Principal Anthony Newbold wrote to parents on Tuesday, "Be assured that as Centennial Knights, we find these actions offensive and completely against our beliefs as an open and accepting school community." The Anti-Defamation League has reportedly also been in contact with the school and local police. Legislation promoting Holocaust education was introduced at the U.S. House of Representatives this week. The bipartisan Never Again Education Act would establish the Holocaust Education Assistance Program Fund in the U.S. Treasury, which would finance grants to public and private middle and high schools to help teachers develop and improve Holocaust education programs. The 2 lead sponsors of the bill, Republican Representative Elise Stefanik and Democratic Representative Carolyn Maloney, launched the legislation Monday at the Center for Jewish History in New York City, where Maloney said anti-Semitism is on the rise around the world and here at home, and the memory of the Holocaust is fading for far too many Americans. She said we can combat this by making sure we teach our students, tomorrow's leaders, about the horrors of the Holocaust. The Associated Press reports that the United States blocked a statement from the United Nations Security Council that expressed regret over Israel's recent decision to discontinue the presence of a civilian observer force in the West Bank city of Hebron. We had reported to you that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced the decision not to renew the mandate for TIF, the temporary international presence in Hebron, last month after several concerning incidents. The mandate is renewed every 6 months by Israel and the Palestinian Authority. Yesterday, the Security Council discussed Israel's decision and a statement, according to French news agency AFP, that was written by Kuwait and Indonesia, expressing the Council's regret about the decision. Security Council statements need unanimous approval, and it was reportedly blocked by the U.S. and did not go through. The U.S. Embassy closed its booth at the 2019 Cairo Book Fair after complaints from the Simon Wiesenthal Center. The center's director for international relations, Dr. Shimon Samuels, alerted the U.S. Embassy's Thomas Goldberger that the infamous Protocols of Zion was being promoted at the international fair. Goldberger wrote in response that he contacted the Egyptian government to protest the presence of anti-Semitic materials at the Cairo International Book Fair and to demand that it take immediate action to remove the materials. He wrote, "I also instructed my staff to close the embassy's booth at the CIBF, and he said we will not reopen." Goldberger said he also brought the matter to the attention of the U.S. State Department. Well, the joint Israeli-American military drill Juniper Falcon is coming up soon. Today, some 300 U.S. servicemen and women landed in Israel for the joint exercise, which begins on Sunday. It has the goal of strengthening cooperation, mutual learning, and coordination between the armies. Some 400 Israeli troops from various units will take part with the U.S. troops. The U.S. and Israel hold these bilateral training exercises on a regular basis. Last year's drill in March was called the largest IDF and U.S. European Command joint exercise, with over 2,500 U.S. troops deployed in Europe, taking part alongside 2,000 Israeli troops. The IDF spokesperson's unit shared a photo on their Twitter page today welcoming the American soldiers, writing, "Side by side, we will strengthen our cooperation and readiness to face mutual threats." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, February the 7th at 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study. At 8, a tribute to the late Charles Krauthammer. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down for part 2 of a L'chaim with Rabbi Aryeh Katzen. At 10, it's the Jake Ehrenreich Show with special guests, the Finkel brothers, and Mike Fine, the Rabbi Comic. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, it's the ILTV look at fashion trends in Israel, Israel in Style. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, February the 7th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.